So I think I might have cracked what the Democrats need to do, or all of us need to do, to make some changes to what goes on in politics. Hold on. So I had a late night last night. This past weekend was my brother's birthday, or yeah, birthday. Was my brother's wedding weekend. Again, I don't ever edit this, so I apologize for the mixed up words there. His wedding was this weekend. He married a beautiful woman. They have a wonderful family they're forming together. They've been together for a number of years. I'm very happy. Couldn't be any happier for them. Sometime in the next few days, I'm actually going to post some of the footage that I shot over the course of the weekend. But what I want to talk about is what happened to me last night. I was, after hanging out with a friend most of the evening, had some quiet time to myself, and my brain started going. And I kind of followed some thoughts, and I want to try to articulate some of the things that came out of my brain in the middle of the night. And it was about politics. I spent a lot of time going over in my head what it is that I believe politics are, can be, and should be going forward. I could get into all kinds of different political science ideas and, starting small, all politics are local, all those things. But what I really want to focus on is that the number one problem that I think we have in politics today is money. It's the fact that I watch these races that are going on across the country, whether it's for Lindsey Graham's seat in South Carolina or Mitch McConnell's seat in Kentucky, or even a local congressional race here in upstate New York. And it's always, the answer is always, this person outspent this person outraised this person, this pack that pack this. It's ubiquitous in politics today. And while I don't think that affects somebody running for town judge or town board or school board, I don't think that that level of money in politics necessarily affects those races. But what it's having is this trickle down effect on how we look at the political structure and how we look at campaigning in modern America today. And this all, if you are not aware, all comes out of a court case called Citizens United. Now, I don't have all the details of that right now, and I'm not going to make this a history lesson on Citizens United, but basically, the Supreme Court stated that corporations are people, and that their desires and that of their shareholders and board have a right to free speech, and in free speech, political campaigns are free speech. So that has opened this floodgates of unmitted unlimited, basically, money into politics today. And it really has a profound effect on presidential politics. But it does trickle all the way down through congressional races, even how we get to the Supreme Court, because there's a lobby for everything. There's lobbies for everything. So I believe that the future of politics, if we are going to preserve our democracy, is going to be starting a movement. Now, I know that sounds funny because there's movements all over the place. There's political action committees for just about every single subject you can possibly find. And that's not exactly what I mean. I don't mean starting a grassroots campaign to try to save the whales or push solar. I'm talking about, we need to find candidates up and down the board that actually run on the idea and the primary idea of eliminating Citizens United, because it will take an actual constitutional amendment to get rid of Citizens United. And when you have a Congress and Senate, the House and the Senate, both bought and paid for by PACs and by special interests and lobby groups, they're never going to even bring that up as an idea. We need to fundamentally change the way we respond to politics in America today, and that may even require both sides. It may require uh, political voter pressure on politicians left and right, Republicans and Democrats, to denounce Citizens United from the very beginning of their political campaigns. If they're running for town board, or if they're running for school board, or town supervisor, or highway department, or whatever, they need to be ready, willing, and able to campaign on the idea of Citizens United. Oh, Mr. Smith, you're running for town board. What is your reason for running? You're a Democrat. Well, let me tell you, Bob, my number one reason for running is because I believe on a national level, Citizens United, moreover money in politics, is the root of all of our problems. And the only way that we are going to get politicians at a level that have enough power and ability to change Citizens United, we need to prop these people up from every position. We need to grow a pool of politicians and governors and representatives in Congress that will push for Citizens United. We can't overthrow the government. And I'm not saying that we need to create a third party, because I know that's often the argument. I don't think it's a third party so much as creating an idea that eliminates the problem with politics and try to eliminate it from both sides. So over the coming weeks, I'm going to try to flesh this out and talk to some people about this that are involved in politics a little bit more than I am, and see if I can't find a way to crack the shell locally here. Maybe even find some people on here. Maybe find some people across the country that are also thinking about local offices and maybe want to follow this idea along. Did you come across this video? Do you live in, I don't care, Texas, Oklahoma, California, Washington? Do you think that Citizens United is the number one problem facing Americans today? Not the most imminent problem, right? It's probably not as dangerous to us as mankind, as a species, as say global warming is. But, for example, as it pertains to global warming, I would make the argument that we are not going to have politicians willing to make those hard choices on legislation that will help the environment if they have money coming in from the oil and coal industries pumping into their coffers to keep them in an office. I mean, that's how money in politics works. So we need to start with people that are at small levels of government, the small enough levels where their campaign money comes primarily from their own pockets or their friends and their family. We need to get these people that are devoted to the idea of eliminating Citizens United right from the start, and they need to stick to it. And if they don't, then we need to primary them with people that will, at every level of government, because there are areas across this country, I kind of almost live in one myself, that are so Republican they're never going to flip. The people are so conservative. But you know what, though? I think that even the most conservative voter out there would like money out of politics. So perhaps we don't need just Democrats. We need to get Republicans too. This movement needs to come from both sides. This isn't about abortion. This isn't about even oil. This isn't about corporal punishment or capital punishment or any of these kind of things. This is about eliminating money from politics. And we need both sides to do it. And I'd like to get that started today. So I wanted to put this thought out there. I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to try to flesh it out. I'm going to speak to a few more people. There's a level of disdain in this country for politics in general. And it has been getting worse and worse and worse. Our Congress has continually the lowest approval rating in history. It gets worse and worse and worse. People have no faith in their government anymore. And that's because we are no longer a democracy or an oligarchy. But I do believe we can do something about it, but we have to start now. We have to find these people out there. Maybe I'm one of them. Maybe I'll run next year. But we need to find people that are willing to make that their number one platform goal. Fall in party lines beyond that. Fall in on all the ideas, all the freedoms, or all the controls, whatever it is that your party platform embraces. That's fine. But make your number one goal, long-term political goal, to eliminate Citizens United. This may take 10 or 15 years, maybe 20. Maybe it's impossible, but we have to try. Because the longer we allow corporations and money to influence policy and law, the more likely we are to be a controlled entity. And I think it's all happening, not behind a curtain, but it's kind of right on the open. I mean, they're not wearing sponsorship patches on their suits, but they're mostly bought and paid for now. So, what are your thoughts? Are you somebody like I talked about that'd be willing to make the moves? Do you have any ideas? Am I wrong? Is there something more I should know? I would love some comments below. I'm going to probably touch on this subject quite a bit over the coming days. I also want to edit the video for my brother's wedding and post that up here. But regardless, I would love some feedback in the comments below. If you like today's video, click like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. There's going to be a lot more politics as we get into the actual election day, which is about a month away. Or a little bit less, 3 weeks away, I think now. And then another campaign cycle, another election year coming up. So it never, ever ends. Please, let me know what you think. And until then, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you tomorrow on another episode of the Daily Octane. Thank you.